Have you ever looked around the room and thought, why wasn't my name put forward? You've led the projects, delivered the results, done everything right. So why are you being overlooked? Welcome to the Your Next Move podcast, the show for high-performing professionals who want to be seen for their brilliance, speak with influence, and accelerate their path to leadership. I'm your host, Kimberly Brown, international career and leadership expert, keynote speaker, and best-selling author of Next Move, Best Move. If you're ready to turn up the volume and finally get seen, heard, and respected inside and outside of your organization, you're in the right place. Let's head into today's episode. Hello, and welcome back to episode 107 of the Your Next Move podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Brown, and today we'll be talking about how to become known without coming off as braggy or self-centered. As usual, my content is for everyone, but this episode is especially for every high-achieving woman who has ever second-guessed herself before hitting publish on a LinkedIn post, skipped a networking event because it felt too self-promotional, or dimmed their light in the name of humility. We're talking about something I hear all of the time. A lot of my clients will come to me and be like, Kimberly, I want to be more visible, but I don't want to come off as braggy or self-centered. And we need to unpack that. So first, I'm going to say this with love. That fear of bragging, it is a limiting belief. And for so many people, especially women and women of color, we have been socialized to feel like this. We've been taught to let our work speak for itself, wait until you are invited to the table, be humble, be grateful, and don't make other people too uncomfortable if you are doing better or you have a lot of success. But here's the truth. If your goal is to grow where you are planted, to build relationship capital, to be seen as a leader, silence is not a strategy, it is a shield. And this episode is about removing that shield, taking it down, and honestly, we're going to destroy it, okay? And I get it. We want to feel respected, not resented, but playing small does not protect you, it makes you invisible. So I want you to kind of really lean in to remembering all of the moments, because I know this is what I thought about when I was planning the episode. Every single time I sat down instead of stood up. Every single time I did not apply or throw my hat in the ring. And I'll even give you a personal example and honestly, a non leadership or career example when I frequently downplayed who I was so that I didn't sound too big for my britches. And a lot of high achieving women will definitely relate to this because I know me and all of my girlfriends have had this conversation. When I was dating, I always played down what my title was. I have had a senior or some type of assistant director, associate director, director of something, global, something in my title, probably since I think when was it? The dates are getting a little mixy over here. I think this is 2013. I have had director of some type in my title. And I think I've had senior in my professional career in my title probably at least a year and a half before then. So let's say 2012, sometime late 2011, I've been a senior something or associate assistant, whatever director. So when I was dating, I found that I didn't say that in my title. I learned very quickly that it made men uncomfortable. And I know if there's some men listening, just bear with me for a second. This may not be you, but it could be one of your friends. So let them know this. And my girlfriends, we talk about this all the time. Instead of saying that you are a director of finance or you are a CFO, you'd be like, oh, I work in finance, period. I deeply regretted ever hiding my title from folks. And it really stemmed from one conversation I had with a man where he was like, why is your title like 5, 6 words? Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, one word is fine, 2 words is fine. And back then, I think my title was Assistant Director of Alumni Career Programming and Employer Development. So, yes, it was long, but he's like, it can't just be like analyst, it can't be director. Like, why do you need all that other stuff? Like, that's a lot. And when I think about why I was positioning myself as smaller, I would just say, oh, I worked in career services at a university. I was literally setting those men up for failure. If I was too big for my britches because my title was too big, then I was never the woman for them. I was wasting my time playing small to accommodate someone who honestly wasn't going to make it all the way to the finish line the way my now incredible husband did. And fun fact, My husband could care less about what I do for a living or my online presence. He's not even on social media. And I'm 99% certain his friends Googled me before he did. And I had to coach him on how to tell his parents what I did for a living so that they didn't think I was broke. If you're West Indian, you will relate to this. I tell this story frequently when I'm on stage speaking because they didn't understand, like, entrepreneur, like, that means she doesn't have a job. Like, she needs to have a job where she reports in and gets paid biweekly, monthly, whatever it is. Dating an entrepreneur was not a good thing for them, but now they understand. But my husband didn't care. It doesn't matter if I'm on a stage full of 10,000 people, if I am in a small room in my PJs, if I'm recording a podcast in my Snuggie, it does not matter. He still loves me. I've never had to downplay who I was. And that is because he's the person for me. And those people who I was downplaying myself for, they ain't here, nor do I want them to be. So let's go back to some more of the professional examples, but I wanted to share that little story with you because I know a lot of women relate to that. I want to be clear. There is a difference between being visible and being boastful. Bragging centers you. Visibility centers the impact. If you've done something impactful, helped someone solve a problem, or achieve something meaningful, talking about it is not about ego, it's about your own empowerment. You're modeling what is possible. And here's a mindset shift that I want you to hold on to. If they don't know you exist, they can't pay you, promote you, or partner with you. I'm going to say it one more time. If they don't know you exist, they can't pay you, promote you, or partner with you. Let that sink in. Let's talk truthfully about what's underneath this fear of sounding braggy, because that's really what it is. This is a limiting belief and it is a fear. And here's what I've seen from my coaching. Some of y'all, and when I say y'all, I also mean me because I deal with this from time to time too. Some of y'all are scared of rejection. Some of y'all are scared of judgment. Some of y'all are scared that if you finally own your brilliance, someone's going to challenge you and you won't be ready. But we don't grow by playing it safe. We grow by showing up, even when it's uncomfortable. I teach my clients that confidence comes from doing, not thinking, not strategizing. So when you're actually out there playing in the arena and daring greatly, the way Brene Brown would say, but you aren't taking credit for all the good work you're doing. I would argue that you aren't fully giving yourself permission to be confident, which means you are still playing small. You aren't giving yourself the right to claim those big, audacious goals that you have, and you're setting yourself up for some type of disappointment. Step one is the doing, and step two is talking about the wins and the lessons. Your mind and body need to have both experiences. And you'll note here for step one, I did not say that step one is the planning. Step one is the strategizing. No, it's not. It's the actual doing. I think for a lot of high achievers, we are great at building plans. Y'all, we don't need to know what the full problem is. But once we get an understanding, we talk to the people, we figure it out. We can build the plan end to end on something that we knew nothing about 20 minutes ago. If you are sitting here in my office with me, I have all of my plans for 2026, 2027, and 2028 on my wall. I can see where I want my career and my business to go very tangibly. And I think, and I believe, because I know this is true for me, that you can get a lot of confidence from the planning. But that is a false sense of confidence because it is still in your mind, even if it's on paper. The reality of it has not come to fruition, and the universe, your experience, your lived experience has not confirmed all of your great planning. So the pre work is the planning and the strategizing, but step one is doing it. And then step two is talking about it. Because if it is still staying in your mind, we have not put it out to the world. And I want your mind to have the tangible experience of seeing the reaction from other people, from feeling the validation, from feeling the acceptance, hell, even feeling the jealousy, because not everybody's going to like you, and that is also okay. And I want you to have the body experience of tangibly doing it. So when I think about myself on stage, fun fact, I still get very nervous before every single speaking engagement. But I have both sides of the coin, the mind and the body experience, to remind myself that I am safe, I am okay, I am confident, and your girl does this, right? So the body experience is me being able to recall the moments of being on stage in audiences of thousands of professionals, seeing folks nod with me, laugh with me. But the mind experience is me confidently talking about it on a sales call with a client. Like, have you ever spoken in front of 1,000 people? Yes, I actually taught 2 workshops at Massachusetts Conference for Women where we had 2,000 women in each workshop. Or I led a keynote for Hello West Michigan to welcome their, I forget what year, interns into the Grand Rapids area, I believe. And that were about 900 interns and Gen Z folks super excited to hear about making their next move in their career. And I can remember what it was like sharing those experiences and confidently moving forward and getting other contracts. I want you to have both. If you're still feeling hesitant, I want to give you a few simple, authentic ways to build the visibility slowly but surely and build your confidence without that kind of like icky feeling. So, one, use we language. I'm so proud of the work that our team did to XYZ. We work together to do XYZ. It still centers the win, but it feels very collaborative. But I'm going to pause here for a second because as much as I'm giving you this as step one, you need to promise me that you're not going to stay here, okay? Because I frequently see that people will always categorize their wins as a team win and they won't clarify what they did, their own impact. And that's why you can't get stuck here. I see this a lot in interviewing. So when I teach interviewing to clients, we use the STAR method. Companies even now include this in interview prep packages with which I love, which teaches you how to tell a story. So situation, task, action, result, where you were, what you were charged with, what actions you actually took, and then the result. But what a lot of people end up doing is for that task and the action, they talk about what the team was charged with. And the actions, they keep on saying, we did, or together, blah, blah, blah. And the interviewer, even when you get to the result, the interviewer will come back and say, can you clarify what your piece in this was? So I do think that using we language is a great start, but that is not where we are going to stay. You are going to get comfortable saying, I led, I initiated, I created, but we're going to take baby steps and start with the we. Number two is focus on outcomes because a lot of times when we're talking about sounding braggy, it's a feeling, but I want you to focus on your outcome is a fact. I was able to improve the bottom line by 30%. Let the results speak. Give them their own microphone. You are not bragging if it is a fact. If you did this, it is a fact. It is not a feeling, it is a result. So as you begin to speak about yourself, think about what was the outcome? What was the tangible outcome that happened that you cannot argue? It doesn't matter if someone's uncomfortable hearing that you improved the revenue or improved the bottom line by 30%. That's what the numbers show. Number three is educate while you elevate. So turn your experience into a teachable moment. Here's what I learned from working with the client on this new project. Here's what I learned from leading my first panel discussion. You can tell a story that helps educate others, and that's a good way to share your experience. And when we frame things as education versus the facts of what we did, sometimes that can feel a little bit better. And last but not least, another thing I don't want you to get stuck in, but I'm going to share it because, again, baby steps. I want you to think about celebrating your colleagues and collaborators. If you have a great team that you hired and they are doing great work, celebrate them, shout them out. That shows leadership, not self centeredness. It is not bragging if you have a great team that's doing great work. And sometimes it's easier to speak about the success of others and kind of practice sharing those things so that when it's your turn, you can shout yourself out too. So I need you to hear this. Being modest is not going to get you promoted. Your brilliance, your gifts, your leadership, they deserve to be seen. And if your goal is to grow your career, lead teams, or even pivot into entrepreneurship, visibility isn't optional, it is vital. If nobody has told you this today, I am going to tell you right here and right now. Your accomplishments matter. Your story matters. Your leadership is needed. And you did a great job. You are not bragging, you are building. You are not self centered, you are self aware. You are not doing too much, you are showing up for your next level and for your goals. So I need you to go post that update, speak on that panel, send that pitch, do those things. And if this message resonates with you and one of your fears is building your personal and professional brand through speaking, I invite you to get on my waitlist for the Visibility Shift. It is a 12-week experience to refine your speaker voice, elevate your professional brand, and finally be seen as a leader in your industry without begging for a seat at the table, burning out, or even leaving your 9 to 5 job. You can do this while still working. I know I did it. So go to KimberlyBOnline.com/TVS-waitlist. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Your Next Move podcast. If this episode has helped you get clearer on how to get seen as a leader, speak with influence, and step into rooms where you belong, please share it with a colleague or friend who needs to hear it too. And if you're ready to develop a speaker brand that opens doors and attracts the right opportunities, head to KimberlyBOnline.com/TVS-waitlist to explore how we can work together. Until next time.